The power of nature is such a powerful tool that often goes unnoticed. People have access to nature every moment of every day, but it goes underappreciated. No one really cares. People know what a robin is, but do they understand their behaviours? People know about great tits and blue tits, but you know their history to being referred to as tits? Birdwatching is a calm form of entertainment and can bring a bunch of wonderful and sometimes humorous memories, from birds falling off feeders to mothers feeding their young. I highly encourage it. Hi, I'm Sydney Jones. I do photography, mostly of birds, but also try and do different types of wildlife. Today we're going to be exploring the different types of birds you can find in or around your garden and why some of them are considered pests. Let's start with some common birds that are seen just around the UK anyway. This video is going to be UK based as I am in the UK. First up, we have the European robin, which is one of the UK's most recognised birds due to his red breast and plumpy shape. Often seen perched on a small branch or searching for worms in the ground, they're a very sociable bird with familiar melody. Unlike other birds, robins are more active in summer months and they become very, very territorial, often singing a lot louder. It's one of the most recognised and understood calls. Robins are very much associated with winter, and this is because they are seen more and because their calls are louder due to defending their territory. They are small, but they are fierce. Like I said, they are very territorial, so this makes them quite a favourite in bird watching. If you see a small bird with vibrant blue colours and a little bit of yellow on it, it's probably a blue tit. Known for its acrobats, they will literally hang out upside down branches and feeders. The little fellows are known to feast on peanuts and fat balls. The blackbird's yellow eyes and dark feathers make it stand out like a sore thumb, especially in spring. Their flute-like song can be heard at dawn or dusk, attempting to attract a mate and defend its territory. The females are more of a muddy brown colour, whereas the males are completely black. House sparrows, they're sociable birds with brown and grey coloration, which means that they can blend pretty easily into urban and garden environments. Males can be distinguished by their grey crowns and black bibs, while females and juveniles have more, dull colours and tones. They are most always seen in groups, hopping around trying to find grains and insects. Certain birds are very fond of garden environments, and these are the birds that you are most likely to spot in your garden, especially if you have feeders out. Robins are some of the most friendly birds you can find in your garden. You can often see them just perched up on a spade once you finish digging. I know our resident robin often does that. We'll just be working in the garden, and as soon as we leave the spade in the soil, it will just perch there and see what we're doing. The tit family is made up of several different passerine birds: blue tits, coal tits, great tits, long-tailed tits. The several that I've just listed are often seen in gardens. There are more in this family, but those are the most relevant to this video. But why are they called tits? They're quite loved for their quite humorous name, Blue Tit. I actually have a thing, if you haven't seen it already, on Instagram called Titty Tuesday. But why are they actually called tits? Back in the day, and we're talking like 14th century, tit was used to describe something that was small, or a small creature. This is derived from the word tita. It used to be referred to as titmouse now, which we still see across Europe. We eventually dropped the mouse. The mouse meant little, but we dropped it because it was a bit too confusing. Small bird, tit, and then a mouse. It's a little bit confusing, apparently. I've already gone through blackbirds a little bit. Their orange beak are striking, often displaying confidently around humans. They are very adaptable birds, making them thrive in both urban and city life effortlessly. Crows, carrion crows. They're widely known for their intelligence, notably problem solving, and often gather in large groups. They're very vocal birds, with their calls echoing through any area, asserting their presence and just communicating with one another. Crows are also omnivores. They feed on small mammals. They also feed on fruit and discarded human food, which they can often be seen foraging through bins and just around bins for food. Magpies. They are medium-sized intelligent birds that observe a bold presence, with iridescent blue-green feathers, black and white plumage, long tails and glossy feathers which shimmer in the sunlight. Like crows, magpies are intelligent, known for their problem-solving skills and adaptability in every environment, and they are omnivorous scavengers. Jackdaws are recognised by their silver eyes and grey necks, and they are found in both urban and rural settings, being a familiar sight. There are 1.6 million pairs in the UK, and like other corvids, are very intelligent and curious. Another omnivorous scavenger, they mostly feed on small insects and invertebrates, and also seeds. Greenfinches have bright green feathers and a stocky build, adding a cheerful splash colour to your garden. Their recognisable body is complemented by the yellow markings on their wings and tail, and are known for their chirping notes, often throughout the breeding season. They are often seen in flocks around your garden, and their playful behaviour can be really cool to observe. They often feed on sunflowers and other seeded plants, but they also like to enjoy, peanuts and fruit. And suet boards. You can never forget suet boards when we're talking about birds. Goldfinches are very colourful birds with piercing yellow, black and white red markings. Yellow, black, white and red markings. They are a delight to hear with tinkling songs and distinct calls. Goldfinches build their nests in shrubs and trees using plant fibres, feathers and spider... I don't know what's going on with me today. Spider silk, creating a secure and cosy home. They have similar feeding habits to greenfinches and they are often seen hanging upside down on stems. Starlings are known for their iridescent body and white dotted markings and are extremely social birds. They often flock in their thousands, creating impressive aerial displays in the winter months, partaking in synchronised movements known as murmurations. Their feathers glimmer with shades of green, purple and blue and are able to mimic a variety of sounds including other bird calls, humans and environmental noises. Not my clip, but here's a video of a starling speaking because I think it's really, really cool.
Let's play violin music. Here's a station music.
Now, I was going to include dunnocks in this video, but then I thought, well, they're really common. Obviously, not everyone gets them, but I've got something better that we could probably talk about, and that is wrens, because they're so tiny and they're so hard to spot, but you can get them on the feeders. Wrens are tiny brown birds with a tail that is typically pointed upwards, having a lively and charming presence to your garden. They make up for their size with their song. Wrens are renowned for their powerful call, and the feathers are often streaked or spotted, providing excellent camouflage for their typical habitat, which are woodlands. There's up to 11 million pairs of wrens in the UK, which is a very, very common bird. But habitat loss and environmental changes are sort of affecting it at some places. Nevertheless, wrens are continuing to thrive today. Whilst it's always a delight to get any of the birds that I've listed at the moment in your garden, a lot of them are actually considered pests due to just their behaviour and the challenges that they present to humans. We've all heard the saying that magpies are attracted to shiny things. In fact, in my school, in my primary school, we would magpie an idea if it was good, but that actually may come from something darker too. Magpies will often raid other birds' nests, usually smaller birds' nests, and take their eggs and even chicks. And also they just disrupt bird feeders anyway. They try and dominate them. Crows have a habit of digging up seeds and small plants, which is really annoying for homeowners and farmers. The behaviour can also be really disruptive. My local crow, we feed up an entire bird feeder, a couple bird feeders to the brim, and it will just literally pick it up, throw it on the floor. We've tried putting cable ties on them. Doesn't work really. It's find a way. That's their intelligence for you. They're intelligent birds. Because starlings travel in flocks, I mean, I've had 30 on my feeders at once before. They devour everything. Suet balls, growing fruit, everything. And they're also very aggressive feeders. They'll often try and dominate each other. It's more like, oh, this entire suet ball is mine. Get lost. Whilst the birds are considered pests to bird watchers, bird enthusiasts, it's really important to know that they are very important to our environment, to keeping the balance in the food chain, and seed dispersion as well, so important. Hello, this is a new series I am introducing called Quacker Queries. Welcome to Quacker Queries, you ask and I answer. You have all sent your questions on Instagram in one of the little sticker thingies that I put out on my story, and I want to answer some of your questions. I've picked 3 or 4, I'm not sure. I just want to answer them. I think it's very important to gauge what you guys like and what you guys like to know. I've also written down my responses on this little bit of paper, just so then I it's the script. It's the script and it's the script. So let's get right into it. Dan Kiran 2017 asks, what flowers to plant in my garden to attract birds? Sunflowers, honeysuckle, hawthorn and lilies. These provide excellent nutrition. It is so important that birds are getting the right nutrition, and if you are confused about what nutrition they need, go to this video here because you do not feed birds bread. Can we get a hashtag started? I think if we got a hashtag started for that, it would actually do something. Like, people would stop feeding birds bread. Something to think about. Actually, I have lavender plants. I haven't taken a photo of this before, but I'm hoping to. I think it was early spring or late winter that it was happening. On our lavender plants, the goldfinches were eating from them and just perched on them outside our window. I need to get a photo of it, but I remember it very well, and it was so cool to watch. Photocasso.arw asks, do you think IBIS or VCOSS-VB is a necessary feature for bird photography or not? In-body image stabilization, for the most part, is essential for bird photography. Birds are fast-moving subjects, and many of us prefer to use our cameras handheld rather than having a tripod or beanbags. If you, like me, a bit shaky and your lens a bit heavy, IBIS is such a beautiful tool. It is also very handy in unfavourable conditions like heavy wind, enhancing sharpness. One of the worst things that can happen is when you're just chilling, trying to photograph a bird, you're feeling really optimistic, it's a really rare bird, and it's really, really horribly windy outside, and so you're standing there shaking like that, and your shutter speed isn't high enough, and if you up your shutter speed too much, then you're going to have to put your ISO too high, and it's going to be really noisy and horrible, and it comes out horrible, and you can't use it, and oh my god. Last thing we need, really. That's why in-body image stabilization is just incredible tool that I think, if you can use it, if you don't need to use it, that's absolutely fine and that's brilliant. But if you're like me, like I said, hands a bit shaky, you're a bit all over the place and wind just adds to that, it's so good. Finally, a question from Adriana Eldredge08 asks, how not to scare them away? The trick is keeping quiet and being undetected during your bird watching experience. Wearing camouflage is a brilliant way to keep discreet while enjoying watching their feeding or displays, as are using bird hides. Bird hides, I think, are absolutely amazing. A lot of people just put one up. Obviously, you need permission. You need land. You need bird feeders. You need permission if you're putting it on someone else's land and it's private. You have to make sure that no one's going to destroy it if it's on public land. Obviously, you still need permission. Or you can use like little tents as well. A lot of tents have, I've got one, I haven't used it yet, but a lot of tents have a little window so then you can put your camera out. I also use a sleeve on my camera, so then if I do that, then the birds aren't going to be too afraid. Obviously, there's the lens and like the reflection, but they don't care too much. I gather questions prior to filming, so if you guys would like to ask a question, ask either in this comment section and I'll check it just before I film the next video, or you can check my Instagram and see what, I'll do it at some point, or you can email me, sidjphotography1@gmail.com. You can see such a range of colours in nature, you can observe amazing behaviours, and it's just a better way, you end up with a brilliant world view. You end up you look at the world more positive. By taking time to learn about species and their habitats, you are finding brilliant ways to understand the world better and see how we can treat the environment better and make sure we put their priorities first. I just really hurt my foot. Looking ahead, I have some very exciting videos planned. Bird watching experiences. My mum's taking a time off work for next week, so then we can go to different areas. And also my favourite areas, but it's also new areas, which I'm really, really excited about. I also have tips on attracting birds to your garden, what foods are best, have different settings, different camera settings, going more in depth about it, the settings that I always use. I've got a day in the life planned as well for next week. I have a lot more videos about being in the field as well, like actually demonstrating in the field here and there. If you've made it this far, tell me about the different birds that you've spotted in your garden, or if you haven't done it yet, tell me what birds you do spot in your garden once you have. Also put any of your just favourite birding stories. I'll just share one now. Favourite birding story is probably when there was 4 red kites just circling. I went to go and photograph it. They're circling a partridge, I think it was. And then they started hunting me, and they were about probably 10 foot higher than me. And I've got so many photos of them just peering down at me. It was incredible. It felt like I was their prey. Being put in that position was really adrenaline giving. If you're new around here as well, please consider dropping me a follow if you did like this video and you want to learn more about birds. Thank you everyone very, very much, and take care for the rest of the week. Goodbye.